What is up, Bucs fans? It is Monday. We are live here on a Real Bucs Talk live stream, and it's awesome that the Buccaneers yet again are 2-0 as they won yesterday 27-17. And personally, I'm very proud of myself because I do not have a sunburn.
I'm
So
surprised.
sunscreen, sunscreen came through for me. It was very hot yesterday at that stadium. Anybody that was there knows. I mean, it was brutal. But the Buccaneers found a way to win 2-0 for the third straight year, which is awesome. And hey, proving doubters wrong. A lot of people didn't expect this team to win,
No.
win two games. Most of them, they predicted 2 wins for the whole season. So we're already there. But I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always, my co-host, Mark Ramirez. And Mark, it feels good to be back on this show because I missed last week, did some traveling. Obviously I made a drunk appearance last week on the comments, but yeah, always good. But Mark, your thoughts on this win yesterday? It was a good one.
Yeah, the offense looked like they can move the ball a lot easier without hesitation, but they just sputtered in the red zone. That's when you need to be the most efficient and timely, right? And that's something where, yeah, okay, at least we saw them start fast and get things moving. Now we need to see them do better in the red zone. Because yeah, this game should not have been as close as it was late. It was 20-17 at one point, and the Bears had the ball about to make a drive. Yeah, Shaq Barrett's interception for a touchdown makes it look lopsided, 27-17, but it should not have. The whole game, it felt like the Bucs were in total control. And time of possession, control. Running, control. Passing, control. But the points didn't show that. And that's where it could have been a game that gets away from you. This is a that's how you lose. You get a field goal blocked. You don't convert when you're supposed to convert. Good teams do that. So yes, there's still things that need to be fixed, but we're winning in that process, and that is humongous. And the biggest one to me, no turnovers. Again,
Mm.
wow.
Yeah, absolutely. And everything you said is right on the money because, this is a team on offense. There's a lot of still things to be figured out, right? Things to work through, processes, and that includes the red zone. Like they're trying to find money plays inside the red zone, trying to, you know, make sure timing is right. We see Baker just a tad off on like the throws to Chris Godwin, that could have been a touchdown. Trey Palmer doing a rookie mistake where he stops his route where he should have went on the go route because he had the one-on-one. Baker's throwing it to a spot because he expects that guy to be there. You end up having to kick a field goal. So, it's little things like that that definitely can get ironed out. Now, as far as the defense goes and special teams, for the most part, they're doing their job. Defensively, they contained Justin Fields. They didn't let him get outside the pocket. They made him, try to throw the football against them, and they ended up getting 6 sacks. Joe Tryon-Shoyinka had a game of his life. He looked great. Probably the best game of his career as a Buccaneer, which was awesome to see. And then it was fitting that Shaq Barrett ended that game yesterday with the pick 6. And what a moment for him personally, just, everything he's been through. And then next play, Christian Hazian gets an interception, which is awesome. Undrafted rookie. I think only the 4th player to do so, getting interceptions in the first 2 games. So, I mean, a lot of things are working well. We saw the running game come to life a little bit yesterday, which was nice. And what we've talked about all this offseason, right, Mark, is playing team football, playing complementary football, making sure you're helping the defense. They get to finally rest. Like they had no rest last year. And for the defense only to be out there, I think it was 53 snaps total. Like that's really good. That means you're controlling the ball, you're controlling the time of possession, all the little
45
things.
plays. That was it. 45
Yeah,
plays.
yeah, exactly. So that's big time. So really a great win, moved to 2-0, and now this is where the fun begins because the Buccaneers face the test of their schedule coming up, and that's the Philadelphia Eagles on Monday Night Football. Who would have thought Buccaneers 2-0 going up against a 2-0 Eagles team? I think we would have thought it. I mean, you look at the schedule, you look at the first 4 games, probably win the first 2, right? And then, you hope you win one of the next 2 coming up. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see what happens, but just want to welcome everybody in here. Appreciate everyone who's joining us. All the comments, a lot of people talking about mustard on my shirt from last week. Yeah, I don't have mustard on tonight, so that's good. Um, yeah, Atlanta's running game. We'll get into that probably later, but yeah, they're running the football right now. Bad football on right now as far as teams playing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the Saints don't scare me. Panthers, again, young, inexperienced, doesn't bother me.
Well, let me
Uh,
touch on this. So we're talking
yeah.
about the running game. Look
Mhm.
at their run game. Look what happened here. The longest
Yeah.
run they had was a 29-yarder. That guy ended up having like 32 yards rushing.
Right.
Insanity, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we limit the run. We're number 2 overall in the run. It's only two games. Only the Philadelphia Eagles are the better team against the run. Have they faced any juggernauts against the run? I don't necessarily know. We are not one, but I know we give a strong emphasis. Look at the balance: 34 rushes, 34 passes. And
Mhm.
the last game, Baker averaged maybe 5 point something yards per throw. This time 9, 317 yards. So the offense is staying balanced, like I was mentioning earlier, just get that red zone. But this defense, if you're getting after the quarterback to the tune of 6 sacks, that much pressure the entire time, I mean, that yeah, the Bears offensive line, no one's going to say they're the best. Everyone's, I guess, championing the Eagles offensive line. We're going to try and see if we can put them to the test. But overall, if JTS is playing like this, Shaq getting better and better with every game, he doesn't look like he's slowed down. Let's be honest. I mean,
Mhm.
when you watch him, he looks even more in shape. He used to have like a little bit of a gut. No, he looks good. He's
Yeah.
getting after it. And if he's only going to get better throughout the season based off of his speed, his quickness coming back after that Achilles injury, I mean, look out. And if we can get a rotation, even Cam Gill got a damn sack
Yeah.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Yaya was in there. So the rotations of that, Logan Hall getting some pressures, Vita Vea just doing his normal thing. Literally, I don't know how man that big can get in so often, but
Yeah.
overall, that defense just keep doing it. Even though there were some open spots, like just Justin Fields couldn't read the damn field.
Mhm.
But there is areas that pressure just needs to get home, and they are the past 2 games.
Yeah, for sure. And the greatest thing about it is we haven't seen the X factor in
Right?
there yet, and that's Kalijah Cansey. And I think we can expect him probably back for Monday Night Football, which will be great. They're going to need him, especially against that Eagles offensive line, which is probably the biggest strength of their team. Yes, they have some playmakers, obviously with AJ Brown and Devontae Smith, but anyways, with this game, I thought the Buccaneers did a great job of just like you said, controlling everything, keeping things in front of them, not trying to do too much offensively. Outside of that first throw, Baker was on point. We were running the football well. The offensive line, maybe didn't have as a strong of a game as they did against Minnesota. They did allow 17 pressures, which was quite a bit. But Baker did a great job of avoiding sacks. I mean, finding ways to get out of them, picking up yards, making throws on the run, just doing Baker magic, like you like to put it as. He was definitely in full gear with that, and just running the offense, not making sure things were staying ahead of schedule. And it probably could have been a lot more, like you said, because we did miss opportunities. There were flags at inopportune times that kind of killed drives. We had, holding on Luke Gedeke. You had a holding on Mike Evans.
Tristan Wirfs
There was
false start.
yeah, Tristan Wirfs false start. There's a couple of different things where it just set those drives back, and you had to punt, unfortunately. But defensively, it was pretty much a complete game. The first drive, obviously, you give up a touchdown. You don't want to see that. Todd Bowles mentioned it that he messed up a little bit, and they were, I think, a little bit too aggressive in that first drive. They realized, okay, we don't have to blitz this guy. We can just stay back in our zones. We can, keep things in front of us, and we'll be all right. And they were pretty much outside of 2 drives. They held up and closed the deal. I think that was the biggest thing. And one more thing, Jake Camarda, amazing. Jake Kamara was awesome. Like, this guy is on his way to Pro Bowl season.
Like it's enough that he has a leg, but he's got
Yeah.
legs like speed to actually recover for a mishap of a
Yeah.
blocked punt or blocked kick. He's just an overall clean player, and I guarantee we're going to use him in a fake punt scenario. where his speed will be to our advantage. I think they're going to find fun ways to use him, not necessarily over and over again, but just
Yeah.
times where it's needed, right? Yeah. So you got to give him some credit. Chase McLaughlin. Look, I always suck at this name. McLaughlin. There you go.
Yeah. McLaughlin. Yep.
Consistent. It just needs blockers,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
do your job, and he'll do his. But overall, offensively, I think we always say Baker's weakness is the middle of the field. I feel like he
Mhm.
did better this game. Like, I
Yeah.
can't believe how secure he is with the ball right now. I'm going to knock on some wood right now because he's
Mhm.
going to need to have it the most this next game. But his ability to make off kilter throws, just literally falling and throwing it perfectly with accuracy. I showed it in the first film study last week.
Mhm.
The harder the throw, the easier it is for Baker.
Yeah.
And it makes no sense. Like the timing throw to Godwin, the first missed touchdown,
Yeah.
that was like almost an easy throw. He's open, just throw it to him.
Mhm.
And somehow he overthrows it a little bit.
Yeah.
But he's falling face first, and he throws a dart right into K. Otton's 88. Like, I just don't
Yeah.
get it. It's like
Mhm.
the harder it is, the better he gets. And on the move, the only thing that scares me is like the two biggest plays we had to Mike Evans were like Mike Evans with a push off that could have been a flag.
Yeah.
And
Elbowed the guy.
yeah, like, right. And then the other one was just kind of running to the sideline. It looked like he was throwing it away, but he just lobbed it up.
Mhm.
It ended up being a massive play. I almost want some of these plays to be, no, this is how the play was designed. And I think he's just holding back a little too much, trying to be too safe when he needs to just unload it. Because there were times where Mike Evans is open deep. If he just launches that thing,
Mhm.
it's going to be an easy touchdown or a huge gain. And we're going to need this against better teams. Like this was a very winnable game we should have won, and it shouldn't have been that close, to be honest.
Mhm. Yeah, no, agreed. And that's something you touched on last week with the film study. It's like you got to throw to grass. Like you have to be able to, anticipate and throw to open space. And he did that in this game. There was timing throws where he had, Chris Godwin on the end route, Trey Palmer taking the safeties away and Chris Godwin coming underneath. They did that a couple times. The pass to, I think it was Mike Evans for the first third. It was like 3rd and 11. And he hits Mike Evans in on the curl route, like the deep
Yeah.
curl, puts it right on the money.
Right before that, too.
Yeah, yeah. So puts it right on the money. So there was plenty of plays where he was throwing with anticipation. He was throwing with timing, hitting the right guy. But yeah, like you said, on a couple of those big play action drops where they had time to throw the football, there was opportunity to go downfield and he just wouldn't pull the trigger. So hopefully, that improves as he gets more comfortable and gets, within the system and everyone is on the same page, because you can still see there's mental errors out there, especially inside the run game, especially at times in certain routes where guys are maybe not going the right way. It just seems like sometimes they get a little bobbled up. Mainly that was more in the red zone I saw, but from offensively, it's night and day from what we saw last year, and that's the biggest thing. And you can see that with G Vegas's comment here. Can't predict the play calling on offense, and that's a good thing. Was easy to call out screens and first down runs. The play action usage this year has been welcomed. So yeah, I mean that's huge. And I think you got to give credit to Dave Canales and his team where they are keeping things off balance. The personnel groupings a little heavy on the 12 personnel, which makes sense because you want to keep Baker upright. You want to make sure your offensive line gives him enough time. And I think they're still trying to identify who that number 3 receiver is right now. Because you see after Trey Palmer made that mistake, they put in Raheem Jarrett for most of the second half. So kind of, work in progress there.
Yeah, think about it. Look at all the young guys you have in there. Devin Tompkins, Raheem Jarrett.
Yeah.
You're counting on Trey Palmer. ESPN, calm down. So, like, you're using a whole bunch of young, talented guys, but there's going to be learning curve. I mean, even Kate Otten and Keefe, they're second-year players. Yes, this is a new offense they're having to learn as well. So it's not like it's a bunch of veterans how we've had for years past, and everyone just do it Brady's way. That's all it is. It's a learning curve, but they're winning with it. And then, like, like brutal as Bucks says, like, hey, we just need to be realistic with Baker. We can win with him, but not because of him. Just need to run the ball and keep this top tier D line healthy. I agree, but I don't agree. I mean,
Mhm.
look what Baker did in some of those moments. Like, how many times did he elude a sack? He didn't get sacked once this game.
Yeah.
Go down. Why? Was it because of great O line play? At times, but there were times where there was a man running scot free and he would just evade it and get out.
Mhm.
That is Baker doing Baker things. If it's magic or cooking, whatever the hell you want to call it,
Yeah.
he was doing the Baker stuff that makes him a damn good quarterback and was a first
Right.
overall talent, right? And then
Mhm.
he has the cannon. He can make those throws. He can do whatever he wants. It's just within a system. And that's where Dave Canales is trying to govern him a little bit. But then as he starts seeing it, saying, okay, now take it away. If you see that
Mhm.
deep shot, don't think about it. Just take it.
Yeah.
And I think that within midseason, they're going to get that. Mike Evans said it. Baker Mayfield said it. As they get seeing it over and over and over again, seeing the tape again from this week, where did we mess up? Where do we miss? Next time we won't miss it. And everyone keeps talking how smart Baker is. You heard it from Lincoln Riley. You heard it from
Mm.
Sean McVay, Dave Canales, Todd Bowles. They're all saying how smart he is. So I'm sticking with Baker could be a pretty damn good player.
Mhm.
Didn't win a Heisman. No, he did win a Heisman.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, I think he means for no reason.
oh,
Um,
okay.
yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, I think you're on it. And I think, Kate On talked about that today where like they're seeing things on tape. Like I think it's good that they're winning while making mistakes.
Yeah.
Even though they're little mistakes. The biggest thing they're doing right now is they're protecting the football.
Mhm.
No turnovers so far. That's a huge reason why they're staying above these games and finding ways to win. And as you said, they're going to get more comfortable. They're going to learn. They're going to see what they're doing wrong on tape. They're going to fix it. And Dave Canales talking about having answers for everything, and I think that's the biggest thing. Finding answers to what the defense is presenting to you. This week they faced a bunch of cover two. Next week it'll be a lot more zone as well.
Okay.
So that bodes well for your scheme. That bodes well for trying to, run the football, even though that's going to be a lot tougher going up against the Eagles because they're number one in rush defense. So there's opportunities there to definitely improve. And I think now the next step is, can they improve that red zone offense where they can capitalize more inside there? If you do that, then, you're looking at 28, 30 points. And Mark, we could have had 30 points yesterday if not for the block kick. So,
Yep.
you're right on that prediction. Yeah. So it's nice to see. I think the biggest takeaway I have is
One
this
second.
team's like,
Krillin, you're always on it. Yes,
yeah,
hit that like button if you like the 2-0 start. And if you want to support the channel, as always, back to plus. Sober plus, take it away.
yeah, yeah. So, um, I think the biggest thing though is this team's exciting.
Yeah.
Like,
Hell yeah, they are.
it's exciting to watch. Like, we haven't seen Mike Evans run that damn far in his whole career. And like he makes a play and makes a move and runs 70 yards. And you think, oh no, Mike Evans, he might just fall down right here. Because he was exhausted. But
Gas.
yeah, but it's awesome. Like seeing these guys make plays. I mean, 3rd and 14, Bucs don't convert that at all last year. And this year it's a touchdown to Mike Evans on a 32-yard pass. So yeah, it's just fun. Like this team is fun. You can feel the energy. The vibe is different. Now, granted, you beat a tough Vikings team, but then yesterday is a game, like you said, it was expected win. The Bears aren't good. Bears probably going to be a top 5 pick this coming up. So that's a game you have to win, and they took advantage of their schedule, and that's what you have to do.
And Ken Smith, you know why you watch this show? Because we're not the dummies of the experts. Because, I mean, the thing is, all these national media guys, what are they going to do? They're going to talk good about the biggest money market. All this is a money scheme. That's all anything is you're going to talk good about the money. And all the small market teams, all they're trash. They're not going to do good. What do you think the Bucs are? That's why people were pissed that Tom Brady came here. Well, why did he go there? That's a trash place to go. No, he chose a damn good team to go around him. Not just
Mhm.
let me just go to like like we're talking before the show about how Derek Carr is on the Saints and he's not looking good. I'm like, well, Derek Carr chose wrong. That's why. Baker chose right. I mean, he saw everything Tom Brady had. He's like, okay, well, if I can just play half as good, I should be able to at least get in the playoffs or something. At least show what I can do too. We're loaded all around. I don't know what the hell people thought it was just Tom Brady doing everything. I mean, damn, Jameis almost got us to the playoffs, and he was giving the ball away. He was gifting. So if you just don't turn the ball over, things can happen with this team. And we turned the ball over a lot last year. And look, we're not turning it over now. And the defense keeps you in games. That's all Todd Bowles wants. And as this unpredictable offense gets better throughout the year, that's the best part of it. That's why it's exciting. It's unpredictable. You don't expect certain things. You're going for it on fourth downs almost every damn game now. And then we're converting. And there's things that are, they're learning on the go, but in crucial moments they're converting, and that's huge. And they're probably going to bread and butter plays that Canales is like, no, this is ones that I know can beat this certain type of defense. And that is huge. And then last year we didn't have that. There was not one damn play I'd say, oh, let's go to this one.
Yeah.
No Buccaneer fan could ever say that. There was not one damn play that would have worked. It was all Tom Brady being Tom Brady.
No, agreed. I mean, you just have direction. You have direction on offense. You have a, organized plan. And I think that that's something that you can see. Like they know they have answers for, whatever the defense is giving them. And if they don't, they'll find a way to adjust. And we saw that in Minnesota. Like, Brad Idzik telling Dave Canales that it's cover two. Yeah, it's cover two. You need to change to your cover two beaters, and that's what they did. So yeah, I mean, this says it all. Drunk Plus is a whole vibe. Yeah, it definitely is. Definitely is. That's our good buddy Cam. He's awesome. He's the Lot 6 crew tailgate. So him and Jay Edward, those were my buddies up there in Minnesota. It was awesome.
Kept him upright.
Oh yeah. They were definitely making sure I was awake. But yeah, it was awesome. Trying to look at some of the great comments, guys, as always. Be sure, like Krillin said earlier, be sure to hit that like button. And appreciate all the support. Keep bringing the comments and the questions as always.
No, okay. But addressing this, we're not getting overhyped over a Bears win. We said we should have won no matter what.
Right.
Fans were happy, ecstatic about the Vikings win. We all knew we were going to be in it. It was, do we win it? Because, I mean, a first-time offensive play caller, everyone's like, no, we're going to lose. First-time offensive play caller. Like, but it's unpredictability is what you have to worry about. And then Baker Mayfield, he's just going to throw interceptions. Everyone always goes to the old agenda of what is the media saying. That's what first game of the season. That's what is media saying. No, it's a clean slate. You're learning your new system. Is it better than the other system? That's all it is. And we're learning that this team is, like you were saying, unpredictable in a good way. That we're not showing our hands to the defense. This is all good. I think it's going to only get better with time. Do I think we're going to dominate against the Eagles? Not a chance. I'm just hoping, we're involved close in the game. The defense keeps us there, and they find a way to cause turnovers. Because if the Eagles don't turn over the ball and we don't turn over the ball, I still think the Eagles have an upper hand. You're talking about the NFC champions, almost possible Super Bowl champions from last year. Obviously, they're a good team. They're going to be right there in the running. I just think the Bucs, with the players that they have, can't be there as well. It's just who turns over the ball more.
Yeah, no, definitely. And just back to yesterday, I thought, there was, obviously I talked about the punter, Jake Camarda. I mean, just coming up with clutch kicks, especially that last kick he had to pin the Bears inside the 5. That was really impressive. And then, obviously that leads to the Shaq Barrett interception. But just also the play recognition by him, because the Bears ran the same play over and over 3 times in a row. And Shaq's like, no, we're not going to do this again for a third time. And he read it perfectly. Great inside pressure by JTS as well. And, that ends up being a touchdown. So I thought that was awesome. Mike Evans, still Mike Evans. I mean, 6 catches, 171 yards, a touchdown. Just like he's the dude. he's the man. Still
bigger day too.
Like, oh yeah, definitely. And I thought it was a great game, great bounce back game for Rashad White, who had over 100 yards from scrimmage, 30 yards in the air, and then running the ball effectively and hard, like really turning upfield when he needed to, and you can see like, and we'll probably show this throughout the week, but just watching from the little tape that I saw so far, he he's close. Like he's so close to breaking some out. Like, and we saw the one that Chase Edmonds had. Unfortunately, he's hurt. He's
Yeah.
going to be on IR now. Um, he showed it perfectly where he did the cutback and ran upfield. Like he ran the perfect zone play. Like that's how you're supposed to run it, where you're going left and you make that one cut and you get up north and south. And I think that's where Rashad is like trying to figure out, okay, this is where, how far do I need to go to hit this hole and cut it back, because Chase Edmonds did it perfectly with juice, hit it, and it was a big play, longest run of the season so far. So hopefully those things continue to get better. You just see certain mental errors by either it's offense lineman or it's the running back not hitting the right things. So hopefully that gets cleaned up.
Yeah, I mean, one thing, like we talked about it last week. Hainsey, I like him for his cerebral ability to call where the blitz is coming, getting people set up, confident.
Yeah.
He's just not the biggest center, so he does get pushed back a lot. He can't maintain a lot. He's scrappy. Don't get me wrong. He's literally one of those guys that will play to the whistle. It's I almost consider him like a bigger Joe Hawley from
Yeah.
back to pass. Like he does all the right things, but he's just not as big as some of the other guys. And I think that's where we kind of get beat sometimes. But he gets after it. I can't get mad about that. It's just he doesn't maintain some of these blocks. If he maintains some of them and Mock just gets better. Is it Mock or Malk?
It's just mock.
Like I keep
Like
hearing
Mach 3. Yeah.
Mach 5, Mach 3.
Yeah. Yeah. Mach 10.
But like once they start maintaining, getting with the system, I think they're going to get better. Even Tristan Wirfs was missing some blocks. So it's not like it's all one person's fault. It's just
no, it's a unit.
Get everyone working together. And once that happens, things start clicking.
Yeah, definitely. So I just, from yesterday, I just got a positive feeling about, just everything. It was just a good outcome. Obviously getting the win is the biggest, most important thing, but just seeing this offense, you can tell how close it is, and it's on track to keep getting better and better week in, week out. And I think that's really encouraging. And then defensively, we still haven't seen their best yet. So that's like on both sides, we haven't seen the best yet from them, and we're still winning games. You're still holding teams to 17 points or less, which is awesome. And that's the goal for Todd Bowles' defense. But like Todd said, I mean, yeah, we're nowhere close to what we're capable of being, because certain guys are just not up to par yet. Like Logan Hall, Mike Green, all these guys not up to where they want them to be. They're getting there, but still the consistency, even Devin White, still has to be more consistent. Wasn't as consistent yesterday as he was in week 1. So those things all have to come together. Zion McCollum showed promise. Like he did good yesterday. Coming up, probably should have had an interception. It's unfortunate, didn't happen. But
Jamel Dean didn't look like a big money player. Like he just got his contract.
Jamel Dean struggled. And that's something where you hope, okay, it's just one game. Hopefully he comes back and starts picking things up, gets better, and hopefully get Carlton Davis here within the next couple of weeks. But you have to be excited. I mean, Antoine Winfield is playing out of his mind. He's playing outstanding. Like he had some just crazy breakups, obviously forcing that interception. I thought he was going to get a pick on that one touchdown. He was so close to getting there. Yeah. I was like, well, I thought he was going to run right across and take it. But I think he hesitated because Jamel Dean fell on the ground or something like that and didn't want to run him over. So like it was close though. I thought that was going to be a pick. But yeah, he's playing great. So a lot of things to be encouraged so far with this season. It's still a lot of things to clean up, and got to be excited about it. I think just seeing the encouragement and how well things have gone so far, there's only room to get better, and that's a positive.
It just shows how competitive you can be if you don't beat yourself. I
Yeah.
mean, we found that out with Jameis. Like, he just kept turning the ball over. You can't win when you do that. It's,
Mhm.
yeah, it was fun as hell to watch because he'd bring it back and then he'd throw it back away. Bring it back, throw it away. You just can't. That's not sustainable.
Yeah.
And yes, being perfect, no turnovers ever, isn't sustainable either. But still,
Mhm.
you just need to be that. That is what you're striving for, not just being reckless. And I think that's what the main focus is. Yeah, don't fumble the ball, don't throw interceptions. Make sure the team can win together. If the offense keeps coughing it up, the defense is going to look at you like, "What the hell are you doing? You're not pulling your
Mhm.
end of the bargain." And I think that's why they're all both these games they were like it was a team win. Everyone, every facet did
Mhm.
well, and I think that's cool. And like you can tell they're all together. They're all like having fun. I think
Mhm.
it's almost a breath of fresh air of them not having to answer Jenna Lane every damn post game press conference. What do you think it was for Tom Brady to get another win when it's like Mike Evans up there? I don't know. I'll ask him. Like
Yeah.
I would get pissed off at that too. Like it's the team game, and we're talking about Tom Brady. Like what?
Mhm.
Now it's yeah, Baker's having fun doing his thing, but he literally says it's a team game too. So I'm
Yeah.
excited for offensive the way it's going, but the defense just needs to get talked about so much more because they are literally on fire.
Yeah, they are playing well, and I think it's funny, you talk about the media, like, and their questions being about, well, do you think the team is motivated by, the outside national media saying this, and we already meet, the 2-win prediction by Peter King, and like, Baker Mayfield's like, well, I don't care who Peter King is, like, it don't matter to me, like, and yeah, and then Jenna Lane with her, well, do you think this is driving the team's motivation, or, fueling the team because they're 2-0 again or something like that? It was just like these guys are professionals, they're paid to do a job, and they're motivated by because they want to be the best. There's no extra motivation there. The team has goals, the team has expectations of themselves. They fully expect to win this division, and anybody who looked at this team closely, like you and I and a lot of people around the area did, understand that this team was going to be a lot better than, 2-4, 2-15 or 3-14. Like I said on Twitter, 7 wins is the minimum. That's the floor for this team. And they have a great opportunity to get to 10 wins this year and win the division and maybe more. It just depends. Right now they're healthy. You have a couple injuries here and there, but if they can stay healthy, there's no reason why this team can't be right there. And looking at the NFC South, yeah, the Falcons are 2-0. They run the ball very well. The Saints not scared. Panthers.
Not scared.
Panthers are young and
And here's
you know,
another thing. So like
yeah,
there's some continuity with the Bucks. Their
yeah,
defense is all the same. All
yeah,
the continuity is all there. It was just they needed a little bit more offense. Hell, the
mm,
Bucks won their first Super Bowl by getting a whole new offense and keeping the whole defense.
yeah,
You
yeah.
don't remember that? But were they being told they were going to be 3-14 or 3-13 when they did
No,
that? No, because the coach was a superstar. I guess Todd Bowles just isn't likable. Because before this year, before the 2-0 start, everyone wanted him out. Now Buck fans like him somehow.
mm,
I don't know how, even though the defense has been consistent for forever. And then they get talked crap about when they've been out there the whole entire damn game in 100-degree heat, and
mm,
then they give up a touchdown. Now it's all the defense's fault. There's no such thing as complimentary football. That's where
yeah,
it's like you got to look at the whole thing. It's not just one play. It's not just one exciting thing. I mean, Todd Bowles is a good enough coach. He does a hell of a good job on the defensive side. He needed an offensive play card to match that. He went out and got it. And we talked
mm,
about this all off season. I think that's why people like to hear us talk sometimes. But do not listen to national media because yeah, just because you don't like the way a guy talks doesn't mean he's not a good coach. He has a good vision. He literally took off the I guess the title of I'm BA's defensive coordinator. He's his own man now, and I think
mm,
He's excited about it. Dave Canales is getting his time in the spotlight.
Yeah.
But now here comes the rough patch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a challenge. Going up against the Eagles is going to be fun on Monday Night Football. Um, but yeah, I mean, just looking at this team right now, you're 2-0. You're in the mix for the NFC South as we expected. And it's a week to week league, and you have a great opportunity in front of you to be at least 3-1 going into the bye week. Not a lot of people were saying that. A lot of people were saying, "Oh, we're going to be 0-4 going into the bye." I'm like,
Yep.
nah.
Selling players, trading players.
Yeah, trading players, like, oh, they can trade Carlton Davis. Trade Mike
Let's
Evans.
go to the Jets right now.
Yeah, no. No, that's a mess with Zach Wilson, and
Yeah.
God bless our friend who's a Jets fan. I mean, it's just, yeah, not fun for the Jets right now. But yeah, I mean, just this team right now is in a good spot. You're in a good place, and if you can continue to play smart football, not trying to do too much with the offense, playing smart defense, continue to stay balanced like they are, and you know what this reminds me of? It looks just like Seattle. It looks like Seattle from last year. It looks exactly alike.
Our defense is better.
Because yeah, our defense is better. Yeah, it's more complete overall. We're probably a more talented football team. I would say that. I think they have maybe a little bit more deeper roster, but we're more talented up front. And it looks how they were establishing themselves last year with Geno Smith and protecting the football. And Geno was making those big plays when needed to. And Baker's doing pretty much the same thing. I think you can see it where the formula is in place. Now it's just, can we go out there and continue to improve it and execute it week in, week out?
Yeah. I mean, and what I'm thinking, who's going to need to step up more and more every game is Kate Otten, because we know how you were just mentioning, we look like Seattle. Seattle uses the tight end so often. We didn't even see Cole catch one ball yesterday. So Cade was the main distributor. He got six catches, 6 targets.
Yeah.
He's very consistent. I want to see that every game now moving forward, because that first game, it wasn't his best. And we need to see what we saw yesterday more often, because especially against teams like the Eagles, the Saints, guys that are going to want to bring pressure, he's got to be your safety blanket and make a secure catch, because someone's going to hit you pretty hard on the way down. So we just need that more often to start converting. He looks good, though. I like how he catches it and squirts out for an additional 1 or 2 yards. So if we can start seeing that more consistent with what we got on the outside, it's going to be a tough offense to stop. I think Seattle just had more speed than we do.
Yeah.
But overall, we have a lot more experience, and I guess, like you said, like a little bit more upfront meat, I guess, and experience up there too. Worse, Filer, Hainsey. Seattle's O-line was just really young yesterday or last year.
Yeah, and I think, and that's where the Baker magic comes into play a little bit, because I think Baker's a little bit better as far as escaping. I mean, he's already shown he can get out of things, and maybe Geno Smith is not as much. I mean, he's mobile. Don't get me wrong. He runs a 4.5. He's fast. But Baker just has that ability inside the pocket to make things happen. And I think as time goes on, we're going to see more of those, broken plays and more explosive things down the field as these guys get better with the scramble drill, because they're not used to this. They're not used to this for the last 2 years. It was Tom Brady. Like Tom Brady, if he had a guy in his face, like that's an automatic sack. Like he's just going down. So now that they know, now that they know that Baker's going to be outside the pocket, like they're going to work their way, trying to get open. And I think that's going to allow things to, obviously open things up, for bigger plays, more explosives. But like you said, you want to see it more in structure. And I'm excited. Now the last thing they got to solve is the red zone. And if they can get that going, then you got something there. But next week, I guess we can get into it. It's going to be a tough matchup, because Eagles top to bottom are just a great roster. I do think their weakness is Jalen Hurts. When you look at their defense, I think their weakness is mainly their linebackers and safeties. I think that's where you have to attack. I think there is some options at corner. They just did lose their slot corner, Avonte Maddox, so that's huge loss for them. They have former Buccaneer Justin Evans, so and he always finds a way. I don't know how he does it, but he always finds a way to force a fumble. So you got to make sure you're aware of that. Um, but defensive line is going to be a challenge
Yeah.
because they have monsters up front. And especially we talked about this morning. I mean, Hainsey and Mock versus Jordan Davis and Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox. That's going to be tough. That's going to be tough. And then they had the outside rushers. What?
It's gonna be gross. I don't think it's gonna look good.
It probably won't
be consistent.
It probably won't. You just hope they can move Baker around and he doesn't take a lot of hits because we don't need injuries.
Yeah.
So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to find a way to do some like RPOs. You're going to have to do some quick action game. You're going to have to run the football, even though it's not going to probably work. You got to commit to it. I think it's going to be key to at least get those first, 2 to 3 yards on every drive and then work off of that and try to, find the matchups. And like you said, K Dotton, he's going to have a big game because the middle of the field, that's where you have to find ways to attack them. And then defensively, I think we'll be fine. The biggest thing is stopping their run game. They have a dynamic running attack. And if we can hold up and stop them and make them throw, I'm really not scared of Jalen Hurts because, like I said, he's very similar to Justin Fields. Now, I'm not saying he's the player that Justin Fields is right now. I'm just saying he holds the football because he can, because they have a great offensive line. So sometimes
yesterday.
Yeah. So
Thursday.
Yeah, but at times like he holds it long and it ends up being sacks because he can't find anywhere to go and he runs into sacks. So I think there's opportunities there to make plays, but then also he gives you opportunities for picks. So you got to take advantage of those, and it'll be a tough game. But like I said, and Mark said, the Buccaneers are going to be in that game. It's just, can they make the plays when, the key moments come up?
I think honestly, what they're going to try and do is get them moving east and west, getting those linebackers thinking something so that they can open up that middle of the field.
Right.
Because there's no way they're going to run middle, just punch it in the gut. There's just no way. With our smaller interior guys, if we try that, we're going to lose, and we're going to lose bad. So I think you have to get moving east and west to get them at least tired, and then maybe later in the game punching it in the gut. But you got to get things going somehow. Yes, Baker, they're going to try and keep him inside the pocket. Everyone knows that once Baker gets out, that's where he makes his biggest plays. So they're going to try and contain, just how everyone tries to do with any running quarterback. It's just how good are they on the outside because everything's wide open. Everyone tries to flood to one side. No, if you keep them in, you can't make good delivery throws because they're on one side of the field and all the other players are on the other. So, I mean, it's all a chess match. But like you said, with Jalen Hurts, I think especially with the drama that's going on with him and A.J. Brown, because A.J. Brown wants the ball more.
Yeah.
If you just blanket A.J. Brown, I would say the same thing like how we did with Jefferson. Just cover the main guy, cover A.J. Brown, and let anyone else beat you. I'm not the highest on where's the tight end? Dallas Goedert. I mean, yes, he's good. Don't get me wrong. But I'll take David and Devin White covering him. Or hell, if I say any of our safeties.
Yeah.
But Devontae Smith, yes, he's a deep speed guy. And he had the biggest play of the game against the Vikings last week. But, I mean, still, I would let anyone else besides J.J. Brown beat me. Kind of blanket how they did everything in the second half against the Vikings. That's what I would use against the Eagles. Because make Hurts and that drama, get me the damn ball. They're going to try and target him the ball and force a bad decision. That's what you hope happens.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think there's there's definitely opportunities, and we'll have to see, who's healthy, for this game. I think that's going to be super important. Is Carlton Davis back? Is, hopefully Kalijah Cansey will be ready to go because I think that's huge. Like, I know Eagles offensive line is good, but I think, with Kalijah in there next to Vita, that will allow you to get some inside penetration, and maybe you can force, Hurts into something he doesn't want to do. So let's see if that happens. But yeah, like you said, it's going to be, can they keep Baker upright? Can they find ways to run the ball differently, and be somewhat effective? I think that will be key. And, maintaining balance, trying to control the ball. You're going to have to find ways to get some explosives, because I don't think you're good enough to go 14 plays
No,
and come up with a touchdown, like you did against the Bears, so
I mean
stuff like that. Yeah.
they are a big zone defense team,
Right.
and I mean that's what Canales really utilizes the most, like finding players in those zones.
Yep.
And do I think, yeah, like you just said, we can go 14 plays and be consistent with that? I wouldn't do that against with their
Mm.
defensive line. No,
Yeah.
I I don't think Cody Mock or Robert Hainsey would like that either.
No.
So I mean, I said, but that's the game that they bring. I mean, their defensive line is so damn good that it helps out that secondary. So you don't
Mhm.
have to be the best, and you don't have to send guys in. And that's the thing. Make Baker read defenses. That's where his mo he wasn't the best at.
Mm.
So let's see if because he stares something down, then you're going to see the turnovers start to happen.
Mm.
He's been doing amazing timing throws right now. Like
Yeah.
literally the second they turn around, it's right on them. But ah, it's going to be a tough one. I'll say that. It's going to be a tough
Yeah,
one.
yeah. This is probably be the toughest game of the year. I mean, it's probably the best opponent we'll face all year. Because when you look at after this game, there's,
Saints.
all of it's gonna be winnable. So
Damn, bless.
yeah. Well, I'm just looking at the schedule. I mean, it's they're gonna be in every game. I think we can say that. And they're gonna be in this game against Philly,
I mean,
but
Lions,
yeah.
Bills, 49ers. That's going to be the best team if we're going to face right there.
Yeah, 49ers probably top to bottom, probably the best team right now. They're playing really good football. So yeah, that's a good point. That'll probably be the toughest one. Um, but yeah, Eagles right now, it'll be a tough challenge, but like we said, I mean, they're gonna be right there. Can they find ways to improve on what we've seen from so far these 2 weeks and execute inside the red zone? Um, that will be the difference. Can they continue to protect the football and find ways to get big turnovers at the right time? And really, that's what they've been doing. Let's see if it continues. But it should be a hell of a game. I'm very excited to see how it plays out. And then after that, you got a big one against the Saints, who look beatable.
I mean, yes, I agree with you there. Like, I think
Yeah.
you made the biggest points. Like, you're just not confident with their offense. Their defense may be good, but they're aging. Um, it's I just think the Bucks' talent on both sides of the field just will keep them in every game. It's
Mhm.
whether we make mistakes or the other team forces it. A lot of it's prevent yourself from flags. That's what you can always prevent.
Yeah.
And then don't make dumb decisions, especially in your red zone. If you're gonna make a dumb decision, make it be a deep shot in the other side of the 50. Like
Yeah.
justified moves. Like Baker's first throw, I think it was, of the game where he almost got pick six. I was like, no, don't do it. And they had a wide angle too on the
Mhm.
broadcast. Like, don't
Mhm.
throw that. And he did it. I was like, shit. That I had visions of Jameis, and that scared me. And then he cleaned up everything afterward. So he
Mhm.
got that quick clock where it's just like, okay, let me get rid of it. Next play,
Yeah.
which is cool. Like you don't have a negative personality. You just keep moving forward. You're just learning from your mistakes. But I think, yeah, you're going to be in it. I don't think it's going to be a bloodbath. People think it's going to be. Again, we're at home. That helps too.
Mhm. Yeah, definitely. Just want to go through some of the comments here, though. Appreciate all the support, guys. Be sure to hit that like button if you haven't just yet. A lot of people talking Bucks and Eagles. Let me see what I saw here. Yep. Brutal as Bucks is talking about the Eagles secondary, so got to ride Mike Evans. I think obviously they're going to find ways to get the ball to Mike. But again, if the Eagles decide to take Mike out, guess who that opens up? It opens up Chris Godwin, as Curlin says. due for a touchdown. Big game, Bud Cannabis or 3. There you go. So yeah, I mean, a lot of good things. JTS continues to get love. I think he's on his way. He'll definitely have more than 4 sacks this year. He's playing the right way. He's playing fast, exploding off the football. So really excited about him.
He's definitely getting a film review of just him.
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna have film studies this week, guys. I already started getting the film, so I have the first half of the offense already. I just got to sort it out. So we'll probably have Baker Mayfield probably first. So look for that, and then we'll move forward from there. We'll probably have some defensive players, obviously, and look at the offensive line, run game, all those good things.
But JTS's motor, it's not just that he was getting after it, quickness, getting sacks, but his motor getting after the play from behind. He's doing all the right things. Like this is the guy that they thought they drafted when they first got him. So he's got all the athleticism. Was just putting it together. Antoine on pace for Defensive Player of the Year. Hell, Christian Izzian's almost on pace for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, I mean, Antoine's playing really well. You want to see him get some of those. He's already got a forced fumble and a sack, but hopefully he can get some more interceptions, and I think that will come. He's so close. I mean, on a couple of those, he's like going for the big hit. If he goes for the football, it's probably some picks there. So yeah, he's in position. I think he's gonna have a good year. G Vegas is in with defense rookie of the year. Yeah, if he gets 8 interceptions, I mean, you're gonna have to give it to him. I mean, but he's always in the right spot. That's what you love about him. Like he's in the right spot every time. So that makes it really cool. Cam. Tailgates are gonna be awesome Monday night. Can't wait for that. Izzian, I mean, he's just playing really good. I mean, talk about a steal, undrafted, only 5'8", but he's built like a brick truck, 200-pound plus guy that can just got the athleticism, got the speed. I think what did I tell you, Mark? I said he's got the instincts of a safety, but corner athleticism. Yeah, I mean, that's just how he plays the game. And I think he fits that mold just like Antoine Winfield, where he can play pretty much everywhere, which is awesome.
And then again, Corey Hall giving credit to where credit is due. Todd Bowles. Cam Gilsack was on a defensive tackle stunt. This crazy man Bowles had Gill lined up as a 2-tech. The man come up with crazy defenses.
Yeah, he does, man. He does. And we haven't even seen it. I mean, we saw it briefly in week 1 when Kalijah Cansey was in there. Like they lined Kalijah Cansey out on the edge and had him go inside. So can't imagine what they're going to do when they have him in there with a full arsenal and allow these guys to play to their athletic strengths. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, plus this question's for you.
Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Very excited about the final season of Cobra Kai. I'm hoping it comes out soon. I know this writer strike is delaying a lot of shows, canceling a lot of things. So I'm hoping it comes together and we can finally see the mega tournament that we're going to see take over overseas. And I think it was Japan where they're going to have it. So yeah, that's going to be awesome.
January could come out.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, January's not that far away, so that's good. That'll be right around, the Jon Snow show that's coming out, Game of Thrones people. So that'll be exciting.
Yeah. Well, to me, it's still a long way.
Yeah. Mark, have you watched Game of Thrones? You probably haven't seen it, have you? No. Okay.
Wife doesn't like the fake things.
Gotcha. Yeah.
All right. So it's
a great show. It took me a while to get on board. Like I didn't watch it till everything was done, and I just watched it recently. I think I watched Game of Thrones last year, so I finished it last year, and then I watched House of Dragons, which was pretty good too. So, yeah, good quality stuff. The show I like now that's out is Winning Time, the Lakers show. I think that's awesome. But again, it only went 2 seasons. The last show was this past weekend, so it's getting canceled. But yeah,
I'm not saying it's not good. I haven't seen it. I didn't see it. Like, hey, when you have a wife
Yeah,
It's
you got to watch what she watches.
do I go in the other room for a week to watch a show, or do I spend time with her when
Yeah.
we both have jobs and we finally get to see each other at the end of the day? So
Right. Right.
priorities.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Well, I rate
I'm
70.
just, I mean, I'm just glad Mark's watched Cobra Kai, so he's on top of that.
Oh, I love that. I love
I don't know. I don't know if does the wife watch that one with you or no?
She does. She does.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right. All right.
That's more
Nicole.
realistic. And there's a
Uh,
drama, there's love drama and
yeah.
stuff like that. Of
Gotcha. Gotcha. Good.
course.
Good.
Come on now.
Yeah. The show that you guys should watch, not saying she would probably watch it, but the show that I like is All American.
Oh
That's
yeah,
another
she
one.
likes that. Yeah.
You watch that? Okay.
There's
Okay.
so much drama in that one. You kidding me?
There's drama all galore in that one, but it's awesome. It has football. It has, it's a true story too. So that's
Yeah.
great stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Other than that, wife doesn't like God. Y'all need marriage counseling. If that's the only issue, I'll take it. Other than that, plus we got anything else?
Yeah, I think you guys watched that show. You guys seen that one?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah. Brutal's Bucs. He's definitely watched that one. I haven't watched that one, but I'm a single man. I don't get into all that.
creepy as hell.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
The guy's like that drink your bathwater type guy.
Yeah.
And it's just some weird creepy things. And they're both
I barely got through Mindhunters. That was a good show.
that was awesome.
Yeah. Season 1 was really good. Season 2, is all right. But no, I think that's all we have for football. Just talking about this team again, 2-0. Hopefully things continue. We know things can turn south real quickly. So hopefully this team stays on track, and can't wait for next week. But stay tuned to the channel. We got a lot of things lined up, a lot more film studies. I think that's been our main focus for you guys this year, just pumping out film studies, trying to do more of those type of videos, because I know that's what you guys are here for. That's why you guys subscribe, to see the film, see how it's broken down, see why this is happening. And we try to show it to you guys, and try to explain in the best way we can. Again, we're not experts. We're not football coaches, but we love the game. We love this team, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So thank you all that joined us here tonight. We appreciate all the support. Be sure to hit that like button. And Mark, until next week, man, it's going to be awesome. Monday Night Football, Bucs and Eagles, both 2-0, battle for 3-0, top of the NFC. It's all on the line. Let's go.
One more
all
before
right.
we get out.
There you go. All right, guys. Everyone have a good night, and until next time.